substantial experience in the HR world and in the understanding of talent management. So from that point of view, I would be very much interested to understand how you would define talent description and how it has changed throughout the early years, those 25 years that I have just outlined of this 21st century.
Thank you, Marcus. It's great to be here. It's great to be with you all. And it is exciting because this community may not be as involved in talent and what's going on with talent as you and I might be. So it's a privilege to share what's going on. Now, it's a fact that everything is shifting, everything, even including family life. And the business scene has changed tremendously, so has talent. Now, if we look back, what we see is that in the early 20th century, the description of talent was completely different than what it is today. It used to be technical competence, discipline, and reliability, which meant loyalty. So people were selected on the basis of how loyal they would be to their employers and to their corporations. Seniority and loyalty dictated a career advancement. And then with the 1980s, talent descriptions started to change, and with globalization actually, talent got enriched, and we started seeing know-how and performance taking the stage. They started to employ performance metrics, performance appraisal systems. So we started really looking down into the detail of what a person is able to do rather than just being compliant and just being a reliable person. So then with the mid-20th century or the recent years, let's say, ambition, being fact-based, being analytical, and being globally mobile became extremely important. And then today, with the beginning of the 21st century, it's changed again. Now, what we have been searching for, especially in CEOs and the other CEO suite members, is not only skill, but even more important than skill, it's adaptability. How quick are these people in terms of seeing the necessary change, embracing adaptability, showing the necessary flexibility, and are they purpose-driven? So these things are coming through attributes with curiosity, emotionally being intelligent, or we can call it emotional intelligence, being tech-savvy, but seriously, not like 10 years ago or not like even 10 years ago, much higher than the earlier times. Being purpose-driven, why am I doing this? What are we trying to achieve? And do I need to change the direction? Do I need to change the target while I am progressing? This wasn't there in earlier times as much as today. And showing empathy because of the adaptability and flexibility requirements. Being able to listen to the other party, trying to understand, trying to grasp what the other parties are in need of has become extremely important. And resilience. Because of the change, constant change, the resilient character has become more and more and more important. And as I will be touching upon in the second question, Turks are very lucky in that sense.
Yes, I have to underline that. In all my experience with this country, I believe being able to manage crises, being able to be resilient, adapt, and being flexible with respect to the ever-changing environment, that is one of the key strengths that Turkish managers and Turkish entrepreneurs definitely have. One more time, what characterizes someone who has lived in this volatility, in this environment that we are facing in the world, and how maybe in this cultivation plus also further development, your latest baby, your foundation is fitting in.
Thank you, Marcus. Now, it's not only talent, it's not only whom we should hire for our companies, but it's all of us. Now we need to shift our mindsets. And let me, before jumping into the assets of the Turkish leaders or the leadership, let me just summarize what we all need to transform into. Number one, growth mindset. We need to be able to forget what we have learned, and we need to be ready to embrace every new piece of information. We call this unfreezing. So we need to unfreeze ourselves, our brains, our skill sets, and turn into something completely new. Otherwise, we are not going to be able to embrace the opportunities of the new world. So a growth mindset and the capacity to our knowledge base and our characters is number one. Critical thinking, we need to be able to look at everything in a critical sense. So it's not only being negative, but we're trying to dissect into the complexity of the new world. We need to be able to remind ourselves this every single day, almost every single minute. Digital intensity, it's much more than what it used to be, and agility. With agility, we mean momentum, and we mean flexibility, and adaptability, and continuous learning. So, if this is the necessity of the new world, what can do the Turkish leadership in this context? As you said, resilience, coming with it is patience, and coming with it is passion. Turks are, yes, resilient, but they are also passionate, which brings the strength of climbing up the wall. The stable market leaders are not used to these things. They are not faced with challenge after challenge. They haven't faced crises after crises as the Turks we have been exposed to. So, with this, the crisis-prone character comes quick learning, practical thinking, problem solving. So what we need to do, teach ourselves how to become a little bit more strategic, meaning that not only solving today's problems and not only grasping today's opportunities, but being able to see the mid-term and the long-term. Because of the rising complexity, the mid-term, long-term, and even longer-term opportunities are going to be much more critical for Turks. So in other words, with the foundation that we are now establishing, which is also called the Global Turks Foundation, these are the dimensions that we are hoping to teach and coach the upcoming Turkish leadership, and whomever is interested about learning about this foundation, please reach out to Zehra Öney, who is also a key establisher in this foundation, or to myself, and we will be delighted to give more information. One last word about this talent situation. Now, in this new world, we are searching for cultural translators, which means being able to see the unseen, connect the unrelated dots. We call this ripple intelligence, actually, being able to see it from high above and being able to see how we can connect many things and make sense out of these and drive a purpose out of this. And bridging, disciplines, geographies, generations is now the main thing that we all need to be able to manage, learn, and deliver. Thanks.
Thank you very much. This was a very comprehensive statement, and I think gives all a very good benchmark of what is needed in terms of talent management.